Alright guys, we are back right after this last video. Same day. Just showing you what's going on with the gasser. Gasser build 55 Chevy. Let's take a look. So, it's been a while and I thought I better keep you updated. I don't want some people to lose interest and forget about it. So if you all remember, the car came... The car came with a mint rust-free door for the passenger side. Had a few dings in it. So we have, there it is. We have body worked it all, inside, outside, all of it. Absolutely perfect, and put it in first primer. There we go there. We also have done the trunk lid. I had a mint trunk lid here, but again, a few dings. Did that, it's outside. We're not going to take you out there, you don't need to see. Now, what we've also done is we've done the hood. Inside, outside, straightened it right out. And what I did was I welded up, you know, there's usually a badge on the front here and a little bird thing there. I got rid of that. Yes, I plan on putting a scoop on it. Pretty much the scoop I'm going to put on it is going to be like the one from American Graffiti. Speedway Motors has got one that's similar to it. But also you can get some old Cal Custom ones. They come up once in a while on eBay, so that might be the answer. Now what I also did here was you remember we had done a bunch of rust repair around the windshield. Well, we got all the body work done and we're in first primer up on the roof there. Sean did an amazing job for me up there. So we got that done. Okay. So I don't know if we can see here. So there we go. So we've got a hood, we got a trunk, we got a roof, and we got a door for this side. So far. Done, finished. Woohoo! Better than nothing. Better than nothing. Now what I'm going to show you is this car, you know, I can fix this, but for sometimes, now let me clarify where I'm going with this car. This car is not going to be a high build. Like my shoebox you see me building, I'm spending money on that. You know, I don't mind buying this new, that new, whatever. The 55 gasser, I'm trying to build it with what parts I've got around here and what I can find on Marketplace or Craigslist or the swap meets. I prefer the swap meets over all of it. Hate all that internet bullshit. So I'm doing my best to build this car as a low budget build. It's not by no means going to be the most perfect one out there. Like the bodywork will be nice and straight. There'll be no rust. I'll make sure of that. So, you know, if I ever decide to sell it, you're going to get a solid mint car. And running gear, you know, I'll always take care of that. But I'm going to try and use what I can find, okay? And right now, as far as it goes for gasser, I know I can shove like an old axle out of a Chev pickup in there. I know I can do this, I can do that to keep the cost down. Don't need to buy all the Speedway Motor stuff. But for me right now, I've got some big block coils here. And I've located a set of ball joint spacers. Just actually found them yesterday. And I can get them, you know, I can get those really, really cheap. I think they sell for like, time they're in Canada, they're probably like close to $300, and I can get these off the guy for like $100. So I think I'm going to run the big block coils, and the reason for that is everyone's got their own view. I'm going to drive this car, so I'm going to take it like up to a Soyuz Penticton all over. Now I'm not saying there's anything wrong with an axle. I know some of you guys have got axles out there. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. I'm just thinking that I'm probably going to go the coils because I do think it's still going to have a little better ride, just in my opinion. I've had trucks of straight axles. You remember my Black Betty? She's on the video at the very beginning right here doing a smoke show. That was straight axle. I drove it all over the place. It was good. But I'm just thinking, like I say, I'm going to do the coils for now. That's my plan. I've got them. They're free. Even if I'm low budget. Okay, but yes, you've got to have radius wheel wells. I don't understand guys that build a gasser and do not have radius wheel wells. That's not a gasser to me. I don't care if you got everything else period correct. Radius to goddamn wheel wells. Anyway, so this frame, as you can see, we lost topic here. This frame, someone's welded a tube in here, which is an old school kind of thing, but it's just a fucking janky job. It's all twisted up here. You can see that. You know, I could go on and on about it in the front here. In the back, the same thing. They welded this ugly tube in. They've smashed these in. Instead of getting a tube that was actually long enough, they've smashed them in. You know, I don't want this on the back. I'm going to run a bumper. By the time I clean up and get rid of all that bullshit, You know, it can be done. I can do it. You guys know I can do it. I do it all day long. But sometimes you do have to consider when you're building something that your time is worth something to you. So I picked up, let's go take a look. First, let's shut this shop down. I'll turn the old heat off. Boom! And the lights. Lock the door. Lovely. And I'll show you what I got. It got dropped off today. Got dropped off today. I didn't even have to go get it. I didn't even have to get it. The same gentleman that I bought the car off. Actually, that's all turned off. Just making sure everything's turned off. Same gentleman I bought the car off. He was redoing a 55 for somebody, and they wanted to go Art Morrison frame. I think that's what he said. I'm certain he said that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They want a newer frame. So I had this delivered today. Complete roller. No bends. Nice and straight. Extra steering box, extra control arms. Look how clean it is. Look at this thing. Another differential. You know, wheels and tires are mock-up again. Proper leaf spring hangers, because the mine have been taken off. Right, and they put them big shackles on there. Now I'm going to be doing something in the back, obviously, but you know, like, there we go. Everything's there. You actually look at this thing. Someone's rebuilt it at one time because it's got brand new ball joints. They're bolt in on the bottom top. Shock mounts aren't even, or the shock rubbers aren't even squished down. You can see the control arm bushings look good. Someone's replaced all that shit. It was all painted up red, so someone did something to it. But anyway, so that's what happened. I got myself a rolling chassis. And I'm very, very happy with the price. Very, very happy. Like, really cheap. Really, really cheap. For me, anyway. For what I paid for that, if I would have spent probably a day or more on that, that was cheaper in the end than my labor to fix that. Or else I wouldn't have bought it. If that would have been $1,000 or more, I wouldn't even have bothered. This was in the hundreds. Yeah, so how do you go wrong? So anyway, that being said, the gasser's still on the go. It's just you don't see it as much. You know, I got to get it in here. I've only got one spot in the bay and the shoe box is in there. So it's either, you know, I roll this one out and roll the gasser in, or what I can do is on Friday night, I try and clean this area out and I can roll the gasser in and work on it. But the last few weeks when I wanted to work on it, there was something here always. So there we go. And of course this week I wanted to roll it in, but it was over at Sean. So he was doing his thing on it. He had a fun afternoon Friday and a fun Saturday playing with my car. So big kudos to Sean for getting the roof straight. Anyway, that's it. So stay tuned for the gasser build, and it's always a good time at old time, and now I'm going inside.